What's good, family? Welcome back. You're checked in with Ameer Naseer. Thank you to all my current new subscribers for your continuous support of my channel. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. My channel is all about holistic health and wellness. And so if you like today's content and it aligns with wherever you are on your journey currently, don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe, and also click the notification bell button to remain updated on all new content. And today's video, everybody, is a promised video. It's a two-part, the second part of the two-part video series about our body systems. And so today I'll go into a more in-depth explanation, analysis of each body system and its main functionings and how it supports us in our existence. And so we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and jump right in. And these are, again, today's video will be a follow-up from the other video I produced where I just explained the 12 body systems in simple form. And so now I'll just go ahead and explain them in a more complex form. And I will start off with number one, the oral health system. So the oral health system, it pertains to our mouth and everything associated with our mouth, essentially. And so with our oral health system, if we have poor oral hygiene or poor oral health, this leads to dental cavities, this leads to gum disease. And gum disease has actually been, research has shown that gum disease is linked to heart disease, it's linked to cancer, and it's also linked to diabetes. So it's important to get those, periodic preventative cleanings, just to, ensure everything is running smoothly with our oral health, and also to go for those regular visits as well. Outside of like just regular cleaning, but just checking for cavities and all things associated with our oral health is really important. Secondly, we have our reproductive system. And so the reproductive system is very simple yet complex, because this is the one system out of all of the 12 systems that I'll discuss that actually differentiates between us all as individuals. However, simultaneously it's simplified in that the reproductive system is essentially, it involves the male reproductive system and the female reproductive system, and this is where we procreate. So this is how we all get here, the reproductive system. You have the powerhouse of the male reproductive system, which is the sperm, and then you have the powerhouse of the female reproductive system, which is the eggs. And when you have the sperm and the egg coming together, you get life. You get life in the flesh. And so that's the reproductive system in a nutshell. The next system I'll go over will be the cardiovascular system. So, with the cardiovascular system, this system, the main organs include the heart, the blood, and three types of blood vessels referred to as the arteries, the veins, and the capillaries. It's also important to note, everybody, with the cardiovascular system is also sometimes referred to as the circulatory system. And so with the cardiovascular system, the heart pumps the blood, and then the blood, it travels through the blood vessels throughout our system. And the main function of the cardiovascular system is simply to transport. So what's exactly being transported in the system? So oxygen from the lungs and nutrients from the digestive system are transported to the cells throughout our body. And simultaneously, the carbon dioxide and waste from the cells are picked up, and then they are then transported to other organs such as the lungs and kidneys for elimination from our body. And then lastly, the cardiovascular system, it's really important that it helps regulate body temperature, and in addition to helping regulate body temperature, it also transports endocrine hormones to cells throughout our body where it's needed. And so that is the cardiovascular system in a nutshell as well. And so our next system will be the lymphatic system. So the lymphatic system is a really interesting system because it's also sometimes considered to be a part of the immune system. And we know how important our immunity is. Our immunity is really it is the bread and butter of our overall health. And so the lymphatic system, it consists of a network of lymph vessels and ducts that remove excess fluid known as lymph from extracellular spaces and tissues, and it transports this fluid into our bloodstream. Also in the lymphatic system, it consists of many small connections of tissues known as lymph nodes and an organ called the spleen, which remove pathogens and cellular debris from the lymph or blood. And also the thymus gland in the lymphatic system, it produces a type of white blood cells known as the lymphocytes, which helps fight against infections. So that's the lymphatic system, and it's really important to remember that it is sometimes considered to be a part of the immune system, and immunity is extremely important regarding our overall health and wellness. And the next system that I will go over will be the respiratory system. So the respiratory system, the main organs of this system include our lungs, our nasal passages, and a long tube called the trachea, which carries air between the nasal passages and the lungs. And the main function of the respiratory system is to deliver oxygen to the blood and then remove carbon dioxide from the body. And the gases are exchanged between the lungs and the blood across the walls of the capillaries, lining tiny air sacs in our lungs. And these tiny air sacs are also known as the alveoli. And so again, with the respiratory system, just remember that its main function is just to simply deliver oxygen to our blood and then remove the carbon dioxide from our body. And it does this through our lungs, nasal passages, and the trachea, which carries air between our lungs and our nasal passages. Next, we have our endocrine system. Remember in the previous video, I mentioned endocrine system, think hormones. And so with the endocrine system, this system consists of glands that secrete hormones into our blood, and then our blood carries these hormones throughout our body to our cells. And so, and additionally, the endocrine system hormones are chemical messengers that control many body functions. And these body functions can range from metabolism to sexual development and to our overall growth. Additionally, the master gland of the endocrine system is the pituitary gland. And the pituitary gland is important because it produces hormones that control other endocrine glands. And these other endocrine glands that it controls through its production of hormones are the pancreas, the thyroid, and the adrenal glands. And so that is essentially the endocrine system in a nutshell as well. Our next system, family, that we'll go over, bear with me. I know we're halfway through, but bear with me. So our next system will be the digestive system. And our digestive system is really important. It's really important. And so our digestive system, some of the main organs, it includes our mouth, esophagus, stomach, and our small and large intestines, which form a long tube known as the gastrointestinal tract. And so when we eat food, it enters this long gastrointestinal tract, this tube, where it is digested, the nutrients are absorbed, and then waste is excreted out. And so in the digestive system, it also utilizes two other accessory organs known as the pancreas and the liver, which are important because these are also needed for the digestion of food, even though food doesn't necessarily have to pass through these accessory organs, but they are still needed in regards to the digestion of our food. And so that is our digestive system. Just remember, nutrients are, the food is digested, nutrients are absorbed, and then waste is excreted. And then remember that the two additional accessory organs that are used in the digestive process are the pancreas and the liver. And so the next system that we'll go over will be our nervous system. And so our nervous system, it consists of our brain and spinal cord, which is a part of our central nervous system, and then the rest of the nerves that run throughout our body, and they make up the peripheral nervous system. And what's important about the nervous system is that it controls both voluntary and involuntary responses of our organism, and it also detects and processes sensory information. So that is our nervous system, and just remember that the two main parts of our nervous system will be the central nervous system, which includes the brain and spinal cord, and then we have the peripheral nervous system, which consists of the rest of the nerves that run throughout our body. And so that, again, is our nervous system. And then family, I know we're almost done. We're at that finish line. We're fourth quarter. Well, we're making it there. We're almost there. And so our next system will be the urinary system. And so the urinary system consists of our pair of kidneys, which filters out excess water and fluid, and a waste product produced by our blood known as urea, and then they form urine. And so then there are two tubes in our body called ureters that carry this urine from the kidneys to the urinary bladder, where the urine is stored before it is excreted from the body. And additionally, with our urinary system, the kidneys also produce an enzyme called renin, R-E-N-I-N, and a variety of hormones. And these substances are important because they help regulate blood pressure. They also produce red blood cells, and these substances also help with balancing the calcium and phosphorus in our body. And so that is our urinary system, and we'll move right along to our skeletal system. We have three systems left: the skeletal, integumentary, and then our muscular system. And so the skeletal system is important, and it consists of our joints, bones, and teeth. And the skeletal system, its main function is to support our body and give it its shape, essentially. And similarly to the muscular system, the skeletal system enables our body to move, and the bones in our skeletal system, they help protect internal organs, they store calcium, and they are also involved in the production of our red and white blood cells. Moving right along, the next system will be the integumentary system. And organs of our integumentary system include the skin, hair, and nails. One of the most important, though, in that will be the skin. The skin is the body's largest organ, family. The skin is our body's largest organ. And the skin, it encloses and protects our body and is the site of many sensory receptors. So it's very important. And then the skin is also our body's first defense against pathogens. It helps regulate body temperature, and it also eliminates waste through sweat. And so that is our integumentary system. Think skin, hair, and nails, as mentioned in the part 1 of this video series. But then remember that the skin is the largest organ. It protects our body, regulates that our body temperature, removes waste through sweat, and then it also is the site of many sensory receptors. Lastly, family, the last body system that I'll cover in today's video will be our muscular system. And so our muscular system consists of 3 different types of muscles. Those 3 muscles are our skeletal muscles, our smooth muscles, and then our cardiac muscles. And so our skeletal muscles are connected to our bones by tendons. Excuse me, family. They're connected to our bones by tendons, cartilage, and also ligaments. And our skeletal muscles, they allow for voluntary movement of our body, essentially. And then we have our smooth muscles, right? And so our smooth muscle tissues, they control the involuntary movement of internal organs, such as our digestive system, and they allow for food to move through that system. And then lastly, our smooth muscles and our blood vessels, they cause these processes known as vasoconstriction and vasodilation, which help regulate body temperature. And then lastly, family, our cardiac muscles, these muscle tissues, they control involuntary beating of the heart, which pumps blood through our body, which travels through our blood vessels as part of our cardiovascular system. And so you see how all of the different functions of our body systems are also interconnected, which also relates to the importance of our overall health and holistic health. You can't have one area of health without the other. Whether we're talking about mental health, you can't have that without emotional. And you can't have the emotional without the physical. You can't have the physical without the spiritual. You can't have your skeletal system without the muscular. You can't have your digestive system without your immune system. And so I can, run on an extreme tangent with that, but essentially, the breakdown of the functions of these 12 body systems, number one, I just hope that the main concepts resonate with you all, and that you're also, outside of understanding the individual functions of each body system I covered today, that you're able to see that the correlation as well between the 12 body systems. And so today's video, again, family, it was part 2 of a 2-part video series where I explained the 12 body systems. In part 1 of this video series, I just simply listed the 12 body systems and then key identifiers with each system. And then in today's video, which was part 2 of this 2-part video series, I engaged in a much more thorough and in-depth dialogue and explanation of each body system and its function. And again, feel free, comment, comments below, make sure you contribute to the conversation. If there's any additional suggestions you have for future videos that you would like me to go into a deeper dive on, don't hesitate to let me know. And also, family, just remember that I wish you all inner wealth, which we know is the overall state of our health. And I'll see you in the next video, and it's all love. And until next time, family, just stay safe. And again, I just wish you all inner wealth. Peace.